Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our September meeting. I am stepping in for Charlie today. Charlie is on business, but is going to be listening in, it seems like. So I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:01. And we can all stand for allegiance.
I'm going to be listening in.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. I am Vice Chair Connor Dean on the table.
You're vice. All right, Sam Goldstein, I'm here.
Human Secretary.
Christine Orlando. Jennifer Graham, Public.
Yi Lang.
Kevin Gosselin.
Oh, Mark Barnhart. Sure.
Everything.
And then we have Charlie on Zoom, and the other Sam will be here shortly.
Okay.
Great. All right, let's go to approval of minutes from our July meeting. Everybody should have a chance to look these over. Any questions, errors, omissions? Take a motion to approve.
Motion approved.
All in favor? Okay. Our upcoming arts mixer. Katie.
Yeah.
Yay.
For hosting.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a bit high anxiety because our season is about to really get wild. But yes, so it'll be from 4 to 5:30. The lecture starts at 5:30. We have Lauren Horn, who is a dancer, and Yaba will do spoken word. And then a reception afterwards. So I'll have the bar open from probably 4 to 5:15, and then I have to kind of go into switching it to the art museum mode. So yeah. Any questions or?
I brought some stuff with.
Yes.
I probably will be there.
Okay.
On Friday.
Tickets? It's free to attend.
Okay.
So
We did ask for folks to kind of give us a head count, but I'm not sure how many did, so everyone's welcome. I announced it at the RTM last night too, so
Promotion?
join.
what do you mean?
And we promoted besides.
Social media.
Social media. I did a little video.
You should.
And yeah, and then it'll be in one of our newsletters, or it has been in our newsletter.
Did I get the video? I don't remember.
It's on social media.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay, okay, I'd like to have it so I can send it out also, because what I
You
like.
just have to go on our
Yeah.
Instagram or
Instagram.
Facebook.
Okay,
It's on both. Yeah.
And share it and forward it.
That would be best, yeah.
And that's one of the things is to integrate all our networking to really reach out further and further, the more we do it, I know.
Trying to build our Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thank you, because I've been seeing my Instagram posts on our Instagram posts, and I really appreciate it.
there you go, nice.
Yeah, Mary Alice is coming up to speed. We met with Connor, so we're trying to take some of the burden off of him because we know he has a business to run, many other things to do. So I think we have some clear direction from Connor. So we're beginning to then reach out to individual artists and venues to do some artist and venue profiles in the next few months. So I think we've completed or close to completing the commissioner profiles. And then as we see events or activities, we are sharing and posting our own content as well. We're generally focused on stuff that either is occurring in Fairfield or has a Fairfield connection of some sort. So that's, we're trying to draw that's where we're kind of delineating the line there. But yeah, if you have stuff that you would like us to share, we did create a couple of kind of worksheets, Google pages that we can then share with individual artists and venues to tell us a little bit about themselves. And then as we go out, and we'll do a little video of the if it's a place, we'll do a video of the gallery or venue space, take some still photography, and then we'll integrate some of the information we get back as part of that. And then we'll also use that to feed content into our newsletter. So we did have a first edition of our newsletter went out.
Nice.
Still building our base. Hello. And so, again, to your point,
And
we're
it's
trying to get it out through a variety of different.
absolutely, and constantly, and the thing about the newsletter, when does content need to get to you so we can get into the, I don't know if
So I do have that. I have to
Okay.
keep track of
Okay.
3 newsletters that go out different times, but I will get that
I
out.
was just gonna say, you only have had to answer me now, but it should, because I've had different people say, oh, I
would say send the information as soon as it becomes available. We'll try to get it in somehow.
Yeah, it's really, as an artist, no, it's really the end date that's really the hard part, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know until, oh no, what day, so.
Are we sending that monthly or is that
It's monthly.
monthly?
Yeah.
Great.
So one just will drop tomorrow. That's Choose Fairfield. Then we have Experience Fairfield, which is tourism based. Then we have our newsletter. I think that's at the end of the month. So it's I think it's on 3 of the 4 Wednesdays. We've got
I think you can actually now go from newsletter to newspaper. Or a magazine.
Well, newspapers, if you can find one.
There you go.
That'd be good.
Okay, moving along. Do we want to talk about, Christine, you had mentioned in the last meeting?
I didn't know when I could bring it up, but I don't think we're gonna be able to do October. So many things happened along with 2 surgeries for my eyes and stuff like that, that pushed it off a little bit. We might be able to do something November, so it just depends on weather and stuff. So I'll bring it up. I'll try to organize thoughts and bring it to the next meeting. That's okay.
Are we good with skipping October? Originally, we were on quarterly.
Yeah, and so we've done one in September. I think we're done for order.
Yeah, we were just gonna add that additionally, and that's why I wasn't too worried about it when we couldn't get it together because it was an extra.
Great. Marketing and communications update. We just
Provided that.
But yes, I met with Mark and Mary Alice, and Mary Alice is, we've linked everything. Everything is working now properly, so we're in good shape.
We skipped over 7, so I must have.
Old business, the Arts and Cultural District update.
Well, we presented the Arts and Cultural District last night at the RTM committee. We had a few questions, but I think overall positive feedback. I don't know how the committee's voted, whether we may consent, but I do anticipate that we'll have a positive outcome at the full RTM meeting on Monday night. And from there, then we have started to assemble the application package. There's obviously, this is part of it. We need the official sanction from the governing board, and then we'll get a letter of endorsement from the chief elected official. Part of the thing that I'm kind of following New London's playbook, because they did a very nice job in terms of their application materials, which is held up as a model by the Office of the Arts. But part of it is looking at the membership of this particular body, which will serve as the foundation, the backbone of the Cultural Commission overseeing the district, if you will. But then we have to discern whether or not we've checked all the boxes. There's different things that the commission, the Office of the Arts is looking for in terms of a cultural commission. And so we need to supplement our membership with other folks that fulfill those various categories. So I started to do that, but I think what would be best if I send it out to all of you and ask you to review that and make sure that I have properly categorized you in the various little buckets. And then also with that, I think New London again had a very nice profile of each artist. So if you have a short couple paragraph bio or something, I think you probably provided something before that I can find through the Board of Selectmen when you were appointed. But if you have something that you would like me to use, I can incorporate or excerpt from, that would be great. So again, I'll send that out as a request. And that's pretty much it. So, unless questions.
Yeah, any questions? What were they like, Mark?
No, they're really, a lot of people were very complimentary. The RTM, when they passed the ordinance creating an Arts and Cultural Arts Commission, this was one of the things that RTM was most interested in exploring further. So there was a question about does this, creating an arts cultural district, does this have a financial impact, for example? And true, Charlie will appreciate this. I said, I'm here on behalf of the chairman, but if the chairman were here, he would be asking you for money. But, the act of creating the district itself doesn't impose any kind of financial obligation. We anticipate that there'll be activities and programs the Arts Commission wants to support, wants to perform on behalf of the arts community here, and those will have a dollar sign attached to it. So we will be coming back to you with requests, but the actual district itself doesn't have a financial implication. And there was another question about liability so I didn't really understand that, but I said, not that I'm aware of. So no, I had anticipated there might be some more feedback, because the RTM obviously represents the entire town, and so we're designating a cultural district downtown. But we did talk about the fact that when you do this, it's really to promote the arts townwide, and so the fact that there isn't really a demarcation that we anticipate, so it's really about lifting up here in Fairfield. So we didn't really get any questions regarding that.
It was interesting, the identification, for instance, if we put on a show, a culture, if something happens, it's the
town.
then there's the
It's
answer.
an official body of the town.
And there's the answer. Okay.
But the district itself doesn't create any
Right.
obligation or financial.
Hey, Mark, I got a quick question. I know that we got the reach out from the First Church Congregational asking to be part of the Arts Commission. I don't know if commissioners are aware of that. And then I asked you what that would mean for like a St. Paul's or St. Thomas, or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so everyone's, I actually went back and looked at in London's application. There are churches and synagogues that are denoted within the cultural district. Obviously, some of these church synagogues can be historic in and of themselves because they'd be a historic asset. They may be cultural places otherwise in terms of providing music or other types of art programming. So I think, it's not really, I don't see any issue there. I think Sam had reached out, had some thoughts, and I connected Sam to the Reverend over there, and hopefully we're gonna have a meeting on Friday. I won't be able to attend, but I believe Sam's gonna meet Friday and talk about some of those ideas and see how we could better incorporate. But I saw a big sign up in front of First Church that says, concert coming up. So we definitely want to include those.
And they've done shows, like theater. Right?
Yeah, I think they rent the space, yeah.
So there's
There's a performing arts student. Yeah. So I don't see any issue, Charlie. So if there
No, I have no problem with that. I just wanted to make the other, churches, synagogues, et cetera, mosques aware that, maybe they want to get part of this program too.
Yeah, this is a coalition of the willing. So folks that wanna be part of it, we're happy to incorporate them. So all I have to do is figure out how to actually revise the map that our intern had so carefully put together, but we'll figure that out.
Sam, if you want, I can meet you there on Friday.
Say what?
If you want, I could probably meet you there on Friday. Just send me the time.
Charlie, that'd be great. I asked her about 1 o'clock, if that's good for you.
See if I can make it.
I'll let you know.
You're gonna meet at the First Church?
Yes.
Great. Awesome. All right, moving on. CMC, any updates on?
No, just in that vein, Sam G covered for me the last meeting. We talked about it. Essentially is to set to establish a friends of, to support the mission of the commission. And that should be something that's self-sustaining, and it would be just a website. An email list and determining what the mission is, if they have one on their own, but it has to be sustained by them. So we'll do what we can to pass a motion next meeting. But Sam, you had said a few things at the last meeting, if you could just cover.
Yeah, and we talked about creating, one of the concepts is that and I wish Matt were here because he has the notes on what was said at the event and stuff, is most artists would like to have a place to go. Okay, and we know that's been drilled into us, or said to us by almost every table that was there. A way to start that would be to do a digital place, to let everyone start to go. We can quantify this where if we set up a site for artists to start to come to, we can now start getting them together digitally, because that's the world we live in, and then eventually look for physical space. So I think that would be really, that's really sort of how we start, is to start to first set up a site and then have them start to come in, and then start to at least put on there some of the things that we think or ask them what they want to start to, I mean, I have an idea from a lot of artists I've talked to of what they would want to see in that space, and you've done these types of websites, so I think that's important. And one of the other things that I did do is, and Mark, maybe you can help me on this, is I had a talk with our library, and they have a whole friends group.
And so does Pequot Library, Fairfield.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of the model.
no, I know that's what I'm saying, because when I went in there and they said, oh, we have this, I said, great, the Friends did that. That we have tickets to the museums and the coordinated, that'd be great, the Friends did that. So that's sort of, right?
Sometimes their responsibility is to supplement the budget and raise funds on behalf of the organization. But I thought you were talking about maybe a broader perspective, not solely that, but.
No, we talked about it's way early days for talking about fundraising. Well, we need to have a budget for ourselves to even establish some of the things here that we have.
Right.
It's strictly meant to be, not strictly, excuse me, wrong word. It's meant to be a forum for the community to know what's going on, and with the commission, but also anything else in town from an arts perspective. So we're woefully behind on this.
Right.
It shouldn't be that complicated. The next step would be create a group that would manage, or actually have their own sort of governance. It wouldn't be ours. It should be established, and there's people that are willing, that come to these meetings and want to be part of it. That's where, but the next step, I think Sam G, in all his wisdom, is right. Sort of, you're looking down the road, you want to have a website and things like that. Let's get a group together. Let's establish that. And that's where the, newsletter goes, any announcements with regard to an arts calendar for the town, talking about the district itself.
Right.
It's pretty simple.
I think you would also need to kind of think about how that group integrates with this board.
Right.
So.
And also with experience.
Your areas of responsibility and how you work together and furtherance of your overall goals. So it just needs to be thought.
I think that one of the first calls is we need some of the public art people to start leading and directing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Perhaps that's something that's included in our next newsletter, is
If you want
who's
to.
interested.
Exactly. Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
And then if it's, sorry.
No, I just had really, I know I'm not allowed to speak, really quick question, but who got this last newsletter?
Anyone who signed up before.
Friends up.
She's not on it.
Okay, then sure, before you leave, I'll make sure I have your information.
Did you check your junk folder? You did.
So are you talking about a website?
Eventually, I think right now it's just getting a list of people that are interested in what we're doing for a mission. There's no, there's nothing around fundraising or anything else from that perspective. This is too early days. Let's establish a community.
Which we have.
But it'll be a digital community where they get together, right?
So they'll have a password and it will be ideally.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but.
I don't know about passwords, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering, just the vision, what's the vision here of eventually a website, then an
Subscribing.
What I kind of hear is, it's a mechanism by which we can engage the broader community in this work. So it's, part of what Jennifer has talked about this before, and others have volunteered. So it's building out the group that want to be involved in some capacity, finding out what their areas of interest are, what their skill sets are and how that works within this. I mean, Sam is already doing this in a way because we're working on this Innovation Art Challenge, and he's supplemented his group with folks from outside the commission to help talk through these issues. So something like that, I think. I mean, I think you're jumping a few steps ahead in terms of a digital something.
Well, yeah, we should frame it in that way, because that's eventually where we're gonna
I
wind up.
think the hard thing is always figuring out, you know, what that group does,
Right.
how that integrates with this group, and what areas responsibility, those things have to be thought through.
Well, absolutely, and one of the things, and I'm not good at this part of it, the political part of it, of doing the right thing politically. No, but what I'm saying is, we should have a representative. I don't know what you're supposed to call it.
An ex officio person who could come to the meetings and represent the Friends.
Yeah. And then we have
They're
sort
not a
of,
commissioner, they're not voting, and
we have a commissioner also integrated.
There's nothing that would prevent a friends group or an artist group from organizing themselves right now.
correct, right. But do we need to pass a motion to do that?
No.
All right, so then,
Yeah, right.
so that's, so,
I still think it probably doesn't hurt to say the commission is looking for a group of residents.
the next newsletter, then we should say that.
Yes.
And then start collecting email addresses and get interested parties, and then we'll establish that.
And get them together and then let them run.
Sort of- Let's set up an email list to get started, and whatever they decide they want to do to support arts in Fairfield, that's up to them. That's what I'm thinking, right?
But is this something that we could announce at the Friday mixer?
Why not?
Oh, yeah, I think, I'm sorry, yeah, but yeah, I think Friday, I think anything that we want to start getting the ball rolling on here at the mixer, absolutely, have the commissioners.
Have a list,
Yeah.
people are gonna be giving their emails.
At the mixer, we will have a table.
Sign up.
We'll have a sign
Sign
up
up.
sheet and sign up to email updates from the Arts Commission, so that will be the basis, so.
Great, okay. Moving along to Innovation Art
Well,
Challenge.
actually, let's do segue into, because one of the aspects which I made my note myself is this idea of mentors, okay? I'll talk to you guys about the challenge in a minute, but with the challenge, we want to have mentors, right? And that's, we need to, that's sort of part of it too, how we get the.
I already brought flat copy.
Okay.
I did email it out.
I looked at it.
Stuff, but,
Look, I looked at
It's gonna be a test.
it. Here, let them-
we can also, make sure, you know, we'll put it, I'll post this in the website.
Extra of the first things that were on the table.
But I think,
Mine to Sam, do you have any extras of the first things you had on the table?
This one?
The agenda and the minutes.
Yeah, you can have that. That's,
Oh, you know what?
Our agenda, I
Will you
apologize.
keep- Is this one? Go ahead of me. All right.
okay, so
There's two more agendas and.
Thank you.
Okay, so where we are right now is we wrote up, what the challenge, this is the Fairfield, Innovative Art Challenge. And it's for ages, two sets of group ages, 11 to 14 and then 15 to 18. They need to be either residents of Fairfield or go to school in Fairfield. And it's the art challenge is, the different formats that we'll talk about. But we wrote up the idea of what the objective is of the challenge, and also what the challenge, we start to keep the challenge simple. So when we start to look at the objective, obviously it's to, we're gonna have a name, and then, I don't know where we stand on, we're gonna have a naming contest for what this Innovation Art Challenge could be called. I know I have a date of starting September 15th. That's not gonna happen, but we will.
Contest happening.
we're running about a week behind.
And yeah, by the way, the naming, we're gonna do the naming of the contest. The big thing about the naming of the contest, I'm personally, and we'll vote on it on the next commission, October 15th. Personally, I don't like naming things, so I mean, whatever it's called, it's called. But the objective of the naming is to actually start seeding the market, the area, the town, that there is something coming. Okay, so we push this out there to everyone in town. Anyone in town can come up with a name. We'll choose a name on the 15th. But the real big issue is the challenge itself. I have dates. I don't know if everyone got the dates that, or when we sent them out, but let's just have some of the dates so we can share these if you want. We went through the dates with Mark and Mary Alice to make sure they were okay.
Yeah, I didn't see any obvious conflicts with other activities.
So the naming of the contest is obviously not going to be the 15th, but we'll have them all due on the 1st so we can review them and present to the commission some of them. We want to create teams, and we want to start doing that by December 1st. The challenge will go out. The start date for the challenge is December 15th, due on March 1st, so that gives enough time to really create something. We'll do public viewing March 10th to the April 19th. There's no school between the 14th and 18th, so that's open time. If anyone goes away, they go away. If they don't, it doesn't matter. And then the judging would be March 12th to the 19th, and then the final award ceremony is March 21st. Okay. The challenge that we put together, first of all, the objective is the Fairfield Innovation Art Challenge is to have a belief or artistic solution that enriches the lives of the maker and the beholder. And then we go into basically a definition of critical thinking and all the elements that go into it and what this does for the child. It encourages the process, the conceptualization, analyzing data, et cetera, et cetera. The challenge that we put on the table was to create a provocative work of art that makes a profound statement about the town of Fairfield's storied history and or coastal location. Under that, it contains hidden Easter eggs and has the word Fairfield in it. Then I defined the provocative to further a feeling or emotion or potential action. Easter eggs, if people don't know what they are, it's message or references that are hidden within the art. And then the letters of Fairfield can be stylized in any creative way. After that, we go into the eligibility and applicants. There's a definition of who they are and how we refer to them. We refer to them as participant, the parent or supervisor. The reason the word supervisor is there, not guardian, is it may be someone who's not a parent or guardian that wants to participate and help the child in this challenge. We call that a project manager. We define that. And then the mentor, we're going to have someone from registered in the art community as an artist and what they do, and we're going to team them up with the participants, the students. Those are the mentors. Some mentors may be working with more than one participant, but if that happens, that happens. Okay. You can read through all these rules and regulations. These were picked out of different places and put together. We have an interference rule. So the challenge and its solution is coming from the participant. Okay, any of the ideas, all that, it's from them. So if you ask a participant who thought of that, if they said, well, my dad or the mentor thought of it, but I executed, then that is obviously a disqualification. The rules and requirements, I'm just skipping down. I don't want to read through all this, but you obviously can do it. You don't need it. Rules and requirements, the Innovation Art Challenge solution will need to answer the challenge, be unique, or a unique change to existing art form. The definition of unique or unique change to existing art form, that will be discussed with the judges. We'll figure out exactly what that means. I know from the art world, it can mean many different things. We'll set those boundaries or guidelines when the time comes. And must be an original or of human expression and creativity, so that way it's not AI generated. We have a section here talking about AI that we all go to in a minute.
What if the concept comes from AI?
Concept and execution needs to be done.
Wait, but you said the concept couldn't come from a parent. Why should it come from AI?
Well, let's move over to what we
Sorry.
where the AI
I'm a
is.
little against that.
No, and look, I get what you're saying, so, but that needs to be discussed and if not covered in the rules, then put into the rules, because I don't disagree with you.
It's a quick out.
It is, but if in fact it's not their idea, it has to be their idea. So I say, where'd you get your idea? AI? We can put that in there. That will be a disqualification. Because it's not their idea, it's their execution.
In my experience, they won't say it's from AI.
Okay, so then we put a rule in, if they don't tell the truth, they've.
Whatever, I'm just saying,
No, no.
bringing AI.
I understand, look, no, I don't disagree with you, but if we start talking ethics and the learning and all that, that's gonna wind up being part of this too. We know there's a lot going on with kids and devices and the use of devices, so part of that can also be the learning of this. One of the things that's in here too is when we get into the rules, requirements, and some of the things that they're gonna put in with the workers, they have to have an artist quote, right, an artist summary of what they did, how they did it, and thank you, that's the word I was looking for, the artist statement. And with that, they have to, the statement, they talk about the budget, we have that in here.
Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a working draft, right?
Oh, absolutely, working process.
You spent a lot of time working with the group, including some folks here.
Yeah.
Drafting this, a lot of work, but, I think you're open to.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Suggestions.
Yeah.
When do we need to finalize this?
Well, that's why I have the dates out.
That's why I don't have it in front of me.
I have to go look at this by December 1. Yeah, I mean, we should have October, November, November. I mean, we should really, because once.
We have a couple more meetings to.
Yeah, maybe, I would love to have this finalized by the October 15th meeting, so that way, when we send stuff out, we have the ground rules and everything else.
Yeah, you definitely need that when you send stuff out.
Right now, we have a process that we can talk about.
It's a lot of, you've put a lot of work into the groups, but a lot.
Thanks, yeah. So rules and regulations, again, when we start talking about the formats and the mediums, it's all but not limited to all these other mediums. We'll go back to AI and all submissions must include, it says what it has to include. Oh yeah, and how many aspects of STEM, science, technology, and engineering and math have been used in this. So they have to actually, it can't be, okay, AI, what you did. So we're laying out that, but we'll.
I don't want you to get stuck on it, I'm sorry.
No, but I want to make sure that it's covered, because I want to make sure that any of those details are covered. Solutions proposal, if they propose a mural installation, any big project, it should be scaled to the appropriate scale, and also line item to what it may cost to implement. Digital submissions, downloads, it's clarifications and judging, all here, criteria. Submissions must be evaluated based on the originality, interpretation of the challenge, subject matter and theme, creativity, innovation, and innovative techniques, composition, artistic intent, and overall appearance and submission. Artwork that will be judged based on the following criteria: creativity, original, here are the point scores. And here's the AI is reshaping learning. AI technologies can be used to support the educational process and enhance rather than replace the human creative element. When considering using AI, use it thoroughly, ethically to enhance creativity and is in harmony with our objectives and the objectives of the educational community. AI may be used in 3 ways. AI is research and learning tools to provide inspiration, enhance creativity, and or to create an output to be used by a participant in a human creation of expression.
Do we have a sense, do we have a sense as to, you need mentors?
We need to
mentor artists.
Yes.
Young artists, and you also need folks that are going to be judging this as well. And I assume those are 2 distinct separate groups, right?
Yes,
the mentors are not going to be the judges and vice versa.
Correct.
So do you have a sense as to the number of people you're going to need for this and where those folks will be coming from?
Mentors and judging should be coming from our community. So I don't know who's going to participate, how many are going to participate.
planning a separate solicitation for
Yeah.
folks to
Yeah,
volunteer.
and I don't know how many students are gonna participate.
Right.
So once those numbers start to come in, we'll have more of an idea. But I hear what you're saying, and then some people have to take on other roles. As far as the judging, I believe the judging, first, second, person, correct, thought I had, did I have that? I thought I had, the list of the judges would be, maybe not in this one.
At the bottom, committee of judges, it does the entries, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, yeah, but on a different piece of paper somewhere I have, it was, commissioner, art, someone from the art community, and other, a representative, because I really also wanted to start to include some of our, I hate to say it like this, but executive people from, working executives that we have in town, so a lot of that.
Town-wide stakeholders.
She said, I said,
Can I just add one more point, not to spend the whole meeting on this, but
me neither.
liability, we need a vetting process for this, because I'm not totally comfortable with just picking random people from the community to be working directly with children without any type of background check or.
Yeah, because
Agree, we had talked about that early on with Mark, and he said, yeah, they do that.
So the town will.
There'll be a,
There's a cost associated, I mean, I
Yeah.
would take the children and we do that
Yeah.
all the time.
There's
a cost
software
associated with
background.
it. Yeah.
software.
But it is a cost.
It does cost.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that that's something we put on, because we were talking about liability earlier.
No, I agree, I mean,
Can it exist with, I mean, I know the program that you're envisioning fully built out, but can this exist without the mentor component?
I think so.
without the mentor?
Yeah.
It could, yeah.
I mean, this is not assigning mentors. If they wanted to have their own mentor, they could find.
And at the schools that sponsor it, like, that's what I
I
mean.
mean, I'm just trying to simplify it the first year out of the
No, I
box.
don't disagree with simplifying, but the whole, one of the big concepts is integrating our community to get them involved.
Could they identify their own mentor? It could be a
Yeah.
parent, it could be somebody that they work with.
That would be easier to
at-
do,
At
yeah.
school, so it could be,
I mean, I can't volunteer my own children's school without getting checked out.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm not just focusing solely on the liability vetting piece and the financial cost. I'm just trying to, this is a big program. And I'm just trying to think about ways in which we could simplify it to get it going. So it doesn't just, become so unwieldy that we can't get it off the ground.
Yeah.
So I think the focus here is on creating a juried art competition for young people. That's really the focus. And then we're integrating some of these other elements in here to make it more interesting, to take an existing art form and modify it in some unique, creative fashion. Great. And, but some of the other things maybe you could build on that, but right off the bat, maybe it might make it hard to just get it going. So I'm just suggesting maybe we'll try to streamline and simplify it the first year. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be your idealized version of what this will ultimately become, but it's something you can build on. You just got to get some success.
I just want to have my thoughts as a mother of two young children in two different schools. We get a lot of emails. We get a lot of this contest, this contest, this contest. It's never ending. And so I'm a little nervous that parents will see this and be like, this is a lot.
It's complicated.
Not to mention the schools, the kids were just the first 2 weeks were doing testing. The new superintendent is having, schools are changing. Teachers and students right now feels a bit stressed in my experience right now as a mother. So I just want to say my perspective as a mother in the school with young children. This feels like a heavy lift for parents when parents are stressed, the children are stressed, and the teachers are really stressed.
So basically, there'll be 3 entries and 1 mentor, I'm good.
No, I think, for aspiring young artists, this gives them an opportunity to showcase their creative talent and work.
Yeah, but just
And
simplify.
you might have 1 submission, you might have 10, I don't know,
And
but
do you guys all know?
kudos for you for
like,
trying.
kids that are going to college that need things on their resume, like in my studio, the kids that are working towards portfolio, would be great for this.
Sure.
So I'm sure there's some dancers and there's some theater kids that are needing something on their resume that says, I participated in this contest and I won, or I came second place, or whatever. And then they can look for their mentors within the place that they're being taught or whatever, and then it's on them to have, and we don't have to do background checks on those people. They are responsible and their families are responsible for okaying it.
And I think if you pulled out the mentor piece, that does make it a little easier.
Okay.
Or consider doing it as a group activity with like tables you could sit at and have artists help you review it, you know, like make it sort of
Follow the process,
speed
yeah.
dating or speed mentoring.
You could set up, you could have some kind of
You could make a,
workshop or something like that.
Yeah, I like that.
then you
Where
could.
you explain the kind of the rules, and then you have some artists there to maybe.
Okay, I like that. No, I like that. That includes the artists.
Sort of like
I don't think you,
kind of
right
thing.
out of the gate, you don't necessarily need to do all that. You could simplify it and
I like
just make it about creating a juried art competition for young people and kind of go from there.
Again, student engagement has been really difficult across the board, so I think we also have to come to the kids too, like they're not gonna be
Yeah.
so focused on wanting someone 20 years older than. It's like all I talk about is student engagement these days, so.
There are a couple of things. Very quickly, the very minimum on this is just the top. Everything else is probably for the parent and or. So if the parent gets discouraged like yourself and you don't want to do it and the kid does, then you're gonna do it anyway. So if that's what your kid wants to do and get through. So I think that's gonna be a self, you know, it'll cool down how many people really do participate, at least in the beginning. And as far as participation across every industry is lacking. No one's doing anything with anyone else. I mean, it's happening everywhere, including some places here. But I got it, I just came back from a bunch of people from different industries, nothing, my brothers, in the insurance industry, people are not stepping up. That's what's going on. Kevin, do you see that?
I don't know. I think I can't make a broad statement. I see people collaborating and coming together to solve big problems and challenges and a bit large and small. I don't see that. I can see that. So
in the interest of time.
Go ahead.
I think there's been a lot of work done here. Is there any, and I think this is, again, a work in progress, so there's opportunities for folks to review this at your leisure and then provide some questions or comments or feedback to Sam and his group. And it will come back to the full board, but is there any reason that we can't go forward with a naming contest, which kind of publicly announces we're gonna have some kind of juried art competition for young people?
I think
We all
go ahead with it, yeah.
Okay, so that's our next step, which is, we're gonna have an announcement about, hey, help us name this juried art competition for young people, our Innovation Art Challenge. Submissions due, and it's very easy for us to do that. It's then sets us on a course where we've announced we're gonna do this. And then, so sometimes, you know, we don't get the response we want and we can always pivot and go a different direction, but
We have to have a prize
Oh, we have to, yeah.
identified before we announce it.
oh, for sure. Yeah, we're not
Has to be
gonna,
a good
all
prize.
right now, we're having a naming contest. We have a very tiny prize for the naming contest if you come up with your winning submission. But yeah, we will definitely have to have that when we go out with the actual program.
That's on my task list. So
Yeah,
do some of
put some
that.
thoughts into what
Yeah.
that is.
Some FAC merch.
Well, this might be a good opportunity to get private sector investment to say,
That's what I was wondering.
so-and-so business is gonna sponsor it, and if you win first prize, you get $1,000 scholarship towards.
That's kind of where.
That's right, yeah.
That's where I was going.
The answer is yes, and the answer is I'll take anyone on our team to do that, because that's not.
Hit all the realtors first.
No.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Any other
They've got money.
questions or thoughts
Yeah.
on Sam's?
I was just wondering about, it makes me sad to hear about going into your school and you gotta be thumbprinted or whatever, cause my kids are. But I remember my daughter being part of something where she went to the police and got fingerprinted and then could do it. Was that a babysitting thing or something? At the rec center,
Yes,
they,
babysitters
Pretty much any-
for the town.
Any group these days, you have to do background checks.
But
It's Girl Scouts, church organizations, the town.
I think she's saying it's free, right?
that's what I was wondering.
I don't think anything's free.
It's not free. It would have been free to the person.
Oh, $5 for her to do it or something? I just remember her getting fingerprinted and thinking, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But it.
Sometimes the organization will pay for it
I see.
if you're ever associated with it.
Like the town would do that, to do background checks on people who are working.
Yeah, I think she took a class in CPR or babysitting or something. I don't remember. I'll have to ask her.
I think if we get a program together, something, I mean, that will.
Unfortunately, it's the times have changed for sure.
Yeah.
But I like the workshop, so that will get.
Yeah, I think it'll be energetic and
Yeah, that works.
different types of artists could be.
It could be, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
different way of doing it. You're in a group setting, it's more of a.
Yeah.
You know, you have a chance to go talk with someone.
Yeah, and then later on, the printing and pictures left and right.
Well, I saw the art show of the kids' art at the Pequot Library and it was really impressive.
It's so good.
It is good, yeah.
That was really
What month does that take place?
at the end of the year. I think.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the
All
year.
this-
Think about,
it's a
and
great show, and you can
images also at the
buy-
Museum, making sure that you don't conflict with that.
There were-
Images at the
Yeah.
Fairfield Museum and
Art show.
the art shows.
I'm pretty sure it's the end of the year.
Sam, part of your group includes folks from the school system. right?
Yes, Michelle Hermson,
She's great.
yeah, so we have her covering those bases.
Great. All right, we're gonna move on to
Awesome.
new business.
Great work.
Anybody have new business?
Work. Any new business?
Just, I had an idea for a installation piece, but I'm gonna wait on it since we just went through this very elaborate thing that we need to move forward with first. But I do have an idea for a townwide installation that I think would be cool to have before the May 18th art walk.
Okay.
So that people can use that as part of the walk.
Tell us where.
Is there a calendar?
I was thinking it would be really cool in that vet park across from where the
Yeah,
new
we've been
Restoration
talking about
Hardware.
that, yeah.
And I was thinking if, and this also entails donors, because some people won't be able to afford to buy the doors, but I wanted to do like doors of Fairfield to our future, or like something about seeing to the future so that the artists
Temporary installation.
temporary, and we could put them on like PVC pipe into the ground and then drill holes into the doors and slide them in, but have them open and have the art on the door, like each artist paints a door. Or a group of artists can paint a door. But I just bought a door at the Mongers Market. They have a million and some are cheap and not in great shape. And I fell in love with one and I spent too much money on it thinking, oh, like we'll get this together and I'll like paint a door. And it's sitting in my dining room, but it was $100 and it's really old and very cool. And it'll make a great piece of art at some point, whether we do this or not. But I looked around and there were a ton of doors there, and I'm sure there are doors on the side of the street too for people, like you don't have to get.
So thinking about a temporary installation on the park, you know, one of the issues that we've identified with that, because that park has attracted my attention before. So it's just really understanding who has the authority for that.
Flags.
And also.
And who is it?
When is Veterans
One would
Day?
think it's Parks and Rec, that would be my obvious choice, but we haven't discerned that yet.
Do you know the date of that?
This year or next year?
November.
Isn't it
Oh,
November?
for the Veterans Day, it's always,
It's
but
always November, so we don't have to worry about May,
Yeah.
because the flags will be gone.
November 11th.
yeah, and we've definitely, I brought this up to folks here within the town administration about doing some kind of, I was thinking more permanent, but temporary art installation would be a good starting, first step.
And if we had an opening, we could have dancers, we could have musicians, we could have everybody around doing other sorts of art while people are walking through, looking at the doors.
Well, that sounds like a good.
Sale.
Working group
It
to,
could be for sale and the money could go towards this.
so maybe we can come up with put a little bit more meat on that and kind of a budget and time frame and outline. And in the meantime, I'll find out who has to say yes.
Any other new business?
Wait, no, I'd like to say.
I'm sorry, I did not see your hand up.
I was blocking.
I'm gonna bring up the banners for next summer.
Oh.
I know we can.
Talking about like the old FAC.
No more flags.
Well, I really get a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but I do get negative pushback when we don't do the flag series.
Could we integrate,
we'll try to
integrate art?
So there is an opportunity to integrate this in because we always, after 4th of July, okay? You've kind of gone through all the holidays that are associated with flags. So going through Memorial Day and 4th of July. And so we do have the half of July and August before kids return. Then we go into like the university series as we welcome kids back to campus. So that's like a 4 to 6 week period. Clearly, we could do some kind of banner exhibit. In the past, that was coordinated by the Fairfield Arts Council. It is a Herculean task because it involves, original art submissions, either from professional or young artists that are then, they have to be submitted in a certain format and then converted into digital and then produced. But it's a very cool exhibit. I'd love to do that again.
Could that eventually, I'm just spitballing here, could it be a Friends of Fairfield Art Commission task?
It could. It could also live here as well if we had somebody. Again, we'd have to put an outline together, a budget together. It does cost money because we obviously have to produce the banners. But it is a really cool idea. I'd love to do that.
Love it.
What about having the kids, their art, who were in this?
Could be, yeah. We've done that too, which we've done. We did a collaboration with the parking authority and the public school system, the graphic arts department, and
It's still up at the train station.
hanging up here.
And here.
And we converted them into banners and hung them at the train station.
I think they had to do art, Fairfield centric art,
It
didn't
was
they?
Fairfield centered art. Yes.
We need to have art at the
Yeah.
train
Yeah.
station.
But in the past, the FAC was alternating between professional and amateur, like student artists. But it was, it can be, there's a couple people that are still around that remember how to do that. I'm not one of them. I just.
I could help with that. I've done old school printing like
Yeah.
that, so I could.
We have it's not, I can get the source for the digital printing of the banners. It's really just wrangling the art submission, making sure it's in the proper format. That's the hard part. Because people I even have professional groups submitting stuff in the wrong format. It doesn't reproduce well. It's gotta be at the right resolution. And so it does take some coordination at that level. And then there's a financial component.
How many flags are you talking about?
Well, we have the entire banner series we have 90 poles downtown, and we have another 24 in Stratfield. So it's a pretty big installation. We don't have, the deal with the Stratfield Village Association is we program half the banners in Stratfield and the other half are Stratfield specific. So there's a connection to the rest of the town series. And then there's something that's specific to that neighborhood. So it's really.
Who's heading that?
SBA?
Yeah. I don't even know. I live in that
I
neighborhood.
know, I was gonna say the same thing.
Get you in touch with the SBA leadership.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's funny, but yeah,
Cause I love it. It looks great.
They work very closely with it.
they did nice stuff.
Timing, Mark, so just how far in advance do you have to print these? I know getting all the art is the issue, but how printing and all that's not that long. And
The printing itself, that's pretty, these are all on vinyl, so it's pretty quick turnaround. Not more than a week to 10 days typically.
And I would say you wanna be on the longer side of that, so you're not paying any rush charges.
Yeah, we have a very good working relationship with our printer. We do a lot of work with
Okay.
them and they turn stuff around for us all the time without any extra charge.
That's nice.
But for this, I think we do need to build into the schedule enough time. I just remember people tearing their hair out when the stuff comes in. You have to have, again, I don't know all the details, but I know that it has to be in the right format and the right resolution to.
And you're saying the best time is after July 4th?
For the installation, it would be ideal if it was mid-July through the end of August.
Okay.
So you have basically a 4 to 6 week period.
Were you in your position when Elise McKay did this at the parking authority with the students? Did you help coordinate that?
Yes.
Okay, I was just gonna say, should we come back with a report at a future meeting on how it was done and costs, or you can give us?
I can probably put you in touch with somebody that, on for the FAC stuff. That would be a closer match to what you're envisioning.
Okay.
I think the art, teachers at the school
Yes.
were responsible
They were.
for organizing, and it was like 5. We're talking like 90. So it's, a scale. Now, we don't have to do all that. I've got other banners that I can intersperse. So if we only up with like 30 submissions, no problem. We could do a third. I think it'd be great to reintroduce that.
Yeah.
So I'm putting you down as working on it.
There you go.
Let the record.
And I would like to at some point coordinate with our friends of the commission, just because I know that's making music.
I think there's a number of, we can't overburden you there, so.
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple of people that I can put you in touch with that can tell you about how the front.
If I don't know how to put it out there, but if somebody knows about a project like the Doors of Fairfield project, and they're told that we need some people to step up and be donors for a door, maybe they would be interested in doing it if they received the door, or if they had a say in where it went afterward, like, I don't know.
Each
like,
door could be sponsored by a different
It could be
sponsor.
sponsored by
You
different.
could do the same with banner series too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just somebody has to
They can be sold
coordinate.
I don't know how to get that, like, how do you get that started? How do you get donors?
Well, I think we probably need to start with kind of a rough outline, rough idea in terms of budget, kind of a schedule.
To get them excited about it.
No, I would start just with the idea so that this board can endorse it. And then once we have the guts of it put together, then we can put together a solicitation package, a sponsorship package.
Oh, okay.
We've done that for other things. I don't think that.
Okay.
Right, moving along, because I want to make sure we get to public comment. Anybody from the public?
No, you go.
We go, okay, quickly, I just loved the newsletter that came out on the 20th. In my email, it read it came from Mark, but I'm not sure who did it. Was that you?
Oh, work.
Just, how it shows like the sections of different things.
I heard you.
I think that's a
The
good
newsletter.
template for our friends.
The friend, agreed.
Yeah?
Yeah, no,
You think so too?
I complimented him as well.
Oh, nice. Anybody else have any ideas of how a template or an idea of structuring an email out to the 180 people that we're interested in?
Well, we could just do that through the newsletter if you'd like.
Exactly.
What's the ask? What are we asking?
Okay, so now moving to the second was just, so if that goes out, are you gonna personally end up getting 180 responses, or do we have a way to set?
Well, that'd be a great problem to have.
I know, right?
I know.
I'd like to say-
I'm not expecting it either, but
It goes into it doesn't go into my email box. It goes into a FAC, or we have an arts email box.
right,
Mary Alice monitors that daily.
okay.
I have access to it, but she also looks at it every day. I don't.
Okay.
And she'll forward any stuff, so we'll populate that.
So how will we get authorization to, and I'm saying we as the public, for
Yeah.
the friends of, how will we find out who these email names are? Is that a conflict of privacy to share?
Well, we'd like to, before we don't really like to share email
No,
lists unless we
yeah.
have people's permission to do that. So, but we could also just say, hey, we're forming a friends group
Click to sign
and
up.
click here to sign up,
And that, then it will be in the ask.
Love it.
Yeah, that's better. Is that hard to do?
No, we're doing that all the time.
I know, I just don't know, I just don't know, like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't wanna.
I'll tell you if it's really hard to do.
Yeah, okay, tell me if it takes more
Yeah,
than 10 minutes.
I'm volunteering Mary Alice. She's good at this.
Nice. Were we gonna do Matt's work plan?
We skipped over it. I do need to circle back with Matt. This is what, Matt was volunteered to do, was try to synthesize a lot of the feedback we received at that workshop in April. We're already starting to work on different things that interest individual commissioners. But we wanted to take all that and kind of organize it into a 3 to 5 year work plan that would organize our work. So we're starting to kind of build the plane as we fly it, but that's important planning work that has to be done. And that will also, I think what the time frame that I envisioned there, why it's important is as we go forward with the budget cycle, it's important to have kind of an overall game plan and then some ideas to what it's going to cost to implement some of these action items, so that we can then, when we go before the board and say we want $20,000 or $50,000, or Charlie's thinking $100,000, we have something to back that up. So I think that's the timing. So that would be, we kind of have to have this in place, kind of an idea towards the end of the year, early January, I would think. And I was hopeful that we might be able to enlist some folks from university that are interested in pursuing a career in arts education, maybe to help us with some of the nitty gritty work. So that's.
Is there any conflict of privacy if you were to share that I think you said it was like 15-page report, I think the board.
Oh, no, I think I went out. So I mean, I can.
The board,
It's anything that goes to the board is public information, and if I will make sure it's not really a 15-page report. It's really an amalgamation of everything that people said.
I love that. I love reading that.
So
It gives me thoughts.
I will make sure that it's posted to the Arts Commission page of the website under forms and documents. If it isn't already, I'll make sure it's there.
Yeah.
Love the ideas. I love the idea about banners. It's great.
I just wanted to suggest that if it's possible to do some press releases, so it's in the newspaper, what's going on, because I think we could use a little, communication channel that's beyond email.
Yeah, we do, but as you know, the media environment is much different than it used to be. So we got some good publicity out of the cultural district and the Connecticut Post. We do press releases on these art mixers. We did a press release on the cultural district. So anytime we have something to announce, we will definitely put out a press release. Whether it is deemed newsworthy by folks, is the patch definitely picks it up, because we've had good success there. And if we have events coming up, we have boosted some our sponsor, paid for some through the patch, which is fairly inexpensive to get it on people's radar. So yeah, it's a good point. We will definitely continue to use as many vehicles as we can to get the word out. It's going to be a work in progress. So there's Mary Alice and myself, and we've got a lot of and this board. So there's a lot going on. We'll try to get as much out there as we can.
I had someone at my studio today who's a student in a different class, not my student, who said that if we ever need any Channel 12 news coverage, they'd be happy to come. I don't know what I don't watch Channel 12 news, I don't watch TV news, but if you wanted somebody to cover something, I think
we can get, depending on what's going on that day, Channel 12 has come out, so it really depends on what else they've got on their thing, but if you write it in a way that sounds really interesting.
Thank you for that.
Don't be You're right, I don't see it either.
All right, anything else? I will take a motion to adjourn. 7:05.
Which was the 15th.
Leadership.
Yes, thank you.